to the CWE podcast. I am your host, Gage, or you call me Sensi for short. I have a special guest. He wrestles for OVW. He's a strongman um, competition. Like he's does a little bit of strongman competitions. Um, I'm gonna shout out my sponsorships real quick. WG, DUBBYGG, Advance G, Rogue Energy, and my new sponsorship is called Whip Energy. Whip is caffeine pouches, not nicotine pouches, caffeine. So is WG, Advance G, and Rogue Energy. Use my code CWE99 for 10% off on every purchase order. And also be sure to check out my scan the QR code at the bottom to support my merch at brainbustertees.com. About to bring him in, and let's get this ball rolling. I have Donovan Cecil.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How long have you been wrestling?
This will be my 6th year.
6 year.
Yep.
And how old are you?
30. I'll be
30.
31.
So you've been wrestling for 6 years, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, who trained you?
Originally, it was the late great Matt Capitelli. That was my heading into junior year of college. And then I went back and played football for 2 more years. And then when I came back, I went through the OVW Academy. So Turbo Floyd, now in AEW, Tony Gunn, and Doug Basham.
Do you do any like in ring training?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what's the hardest part about training?
Um, well, I'd say the conditioning aspect, just because
Conditioning.
no matter how much elliptical or stairmaster or whatever you do, nothing compares to the in-ring cardio.
For sure. Um, what is your earliest related memory? At one point did you know that you could do this?
I mean, I've always been a fan ever since I was probably about 4 years old. But as
Of course.
far as knowing I could do it, uh, probably right before I took Matt Capitelli's class, because I was actually in the training room during college football, and one of my coaches mentioned that OVW was in Louisville, and I went to school at Kentucky State over in Frankfurt. So
Okay.
it was, just an hour-long drive over there, and then took the 10-week class, got through the class, and just kind of knew that I could be pretty good at it.
Away from wrestling, do you have any hobbies, or is this your full-time gig?
Well, this is pretty much my full-time gig, but as far as hobbies go, I do strongman
Mhm.
competitively. I'm going to be at Power Slap in March. Um, Other than that, video games and books.
Yeah, we'll get into that. How did you get into power slap? Um, have you had any competitions yet?
I haven't had any competitions yet.
Okay.
I actually got in through Amazing Maria at
Okay.
OVW. As people probably know, Haley J was in there, and she knows a couple of the promoters there through that. And she got me hooked up with one of the combines out in Vegas, probably 3 or 4 months back. And then they just reached out to me here recently to set up my first matchup in March.
And where's it going to be streaming at? For
It
folks
will
that want to see
be.
it?
It's going to be one of the early prelims, so it'll only be on their social media.
Okay. Okay.
So
For sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, how did you get into strongman, and like, how long have you been doing the competitions?
I got into strongman because I've always been a huge fan of it, just watching World's Strongest Man on TV back in the day.
Mhm.
And then I've been competing. Geez, this will be year 6 for that too, as I did my first strongman show right before I did the OVW Combine back in 2019-ish.
And what kind of training you have to do for a strongman?
Just like I feel like it has the most carryover as far as any kind of non-wrestling training to wrestling and really to anything, because there's a lot of just picking up heavy odd objects and running with them, or
Right. Right.
pressing like a log over the head as opposed to like a straight bar. Nothing is 100% even at all times, so it's kind of has a great carryover.
And so the power slap will be your first competition for that one too.
Yes.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
Okay.
should be.
Um, do you have a day job?
Not currently, no. I
So
used
this
to work
is
in
okay.
lawn care and stuff like that, but right now wrestling's my full-time gig.
Awesome, awesome. What is your hometown and your favorite thing about your hometown?
Hometown is Brookville, Indiana,
Okay,
and favorite thing is the Brookville Lake. It's kind of what we're known for, and then Dairy Cottage has good chicken. So,
for sure, for sure. Um, can you tell us about your first match? It could be singles or a tag team.
yeah. So at the end of Matt Capitelli's class, there was what was then called an OVW showcase match. I faced a guy named Matt Bryan. He was another student in my class. We actually had a pretty solid singles match, and then neither one of us stuck around because I went back to college, and I believe he had twin girls on the way. So,
Gotcha.
life kind of got in the way of that, and then I ended up coming back to wrestling 2, 3 years later.
Okay, okay. Can you tell us about your favorite match you've been part of or your most proud match?
Mm. I would say probably it's probably between um, at OVW. I would say my heavyweight championship match with Cash Flow, and then outside of OVW was 30-minute Ironman match with Donovan Dijak.
Okay, okay. What's your schedule like now? Like how many days you wrestle?
Usually, I will be 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay, okay. And it's different promotions, right? Not just OVW.
Yeah,
Okay.
OVW on Thursdays. Once we get into spring and summer, we'll start kicking into house shows more. So it'll be Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and then a Sunday if there's a pay per view. But right now it's OVW on Thursdays, sometimes Sundays, and then Fridays, Saturdays are usually different promotions.
Okay, cool, cool. What's the furthest you had to travel for a match?
That would be, not sure which one was further between Arkansas and Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say those are pretty even drives, I would say.
Yeah, they're pretty close. I
Okay.
prefer going to Arkansas just because the road's a little bit straighter as opposed to trying to drive through Chicago to get to Wisconsin's usually terrible traffic and a lot of tolls.
Seems like driving in the south is more easier than driving up north, for
Oh yeah,
sure.
oh yeah.
Um, see, are you a babyface or a heel right now?
I am a babyface in Ohio Valley Wrestling, and I am a heel other places and babyface somewhere.
Do you like working babyface more or heel?
Um, I kind of like both, and I like
Both.
to expand the range and really show what I can do with both. Uh, I'm kind of hoping maybe I'll get to turn heel at some point in OVW, just I haven't really done it in
Okay.
OVW, but I like both.
How long have you been with OVW again?
This is my 6th year because I trained there and then I've been there ever since. But
Oh
this
wow. Okay.
is year 4-ish as far as actually being on TV.
Did you wrestle in the pandemic era?
I was in the intermediate class during the pandemic.
Okay. Okay. Um, and what percent of matches you have been in, and do you largely work out with your opponent in the back?
When I was real early on, it was, unless I was in there with someone very experienced, it was pretty much the whole thing. But now that I'm a lot more comfortable with it and feel pretty good about calling stuff in the ring or just kind of feeling out the crowd, stuff like that, it's just like a spot here and there if there's something
Hmm.
intricate, and then the finish.
And what percent do you call in the ring, and do you have a preference?
Um, Nowadays it's probably close to 90% called in the ring,
Okay,
depending on who you're working with. Because
for sure.
if they're a young guy or new to the business or something like that, or if they're more of a spotty wrestler, then they will like to call a lot of stuff in the back just because there's a lot of intricacy to it.
Hmm.
But as far as my personal preference, I like calling probably 60-40 in the ring.
Okay, okay. Have you got the chance to work with any opponents that had a language barrier by any chance?
Um, Not really. I mean,
Okay,
Mahabali Shira a little bit. He speaks English, but it's just a kind of a thick accent. Him and Crixus would be the closest I've come to it. But they both speak English. They're just kind of, you only understand some of what they say.
Right, right. Was it hard working with them?
No, no,
No,
they're
pretty easy.
both great professionals and they
Okay.
know what they're doing.
Um, if so, in pro wrestling, it's pretty important to be, you know, pretty even on the mic and in the ring. But on your, in your opinion, would you rather be great in the ring or on the mic?
Uh, that's a tough one because
It is
in today's day, as far as pro wrestling goes, I think getting noticed or getting like big money contracts, a lot of it is being better on the mic as opposed to being great in the ring. Um, but I would probably prefer to be great in the ring just because that's what drew me into wrestling was the actual wrestling portion. The stories are great, the talking is great, but I prefer the wrestling over any of that.
for sure. As a fan, who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
That would be The Undertaker or John Cena.
Facts. I like an Undertaker and John Cena for sure. And as a fan, do you have a favorite match?
That would be, I forget which Mania it was, but Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, the
I
Streak versus Career.
I get a lot of those. I get a lot of those.
I mean, it's so good. How could you not get so many?
It
You know?
for sure. You can sit there and watch it, rewatch it all day.
Oh yeah.
Who would be a dream opponent for you? It could be present, day, past.
Ooh, that would be Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Yep.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had the chance to work with any notable names?
Donovan Dijak.
That's
Um,
he worked for NXT at one point.
NXT. He was in WWE for a little bit,
Right.
and now he's half of the MLW Tag Champs.
Okay. Okay. Have you got the chance to talk to any of your heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JBL, Mick Foley, Big Show,
Okay. Okay.
Al Snow. Get to talk
Right.
to him
Right.
every week. So Doug
For sure.
Backham, tons of people that I growing up I never really thought that I would have a chance to talk to any of people like that, just because they're superstars and I'm just some guy from Brookville, Indiana. But now they're around, you know, every other show you're at, there's somebody there who you've seen on TV or you grew up watching. So it's always
For
fun.
sure. What championship are you holding now?
This is the OVW Tag Team Championship. One
And
half.
who's your tag team partner?
Jack Vaughn, the veteran.
Jack Vaughn. Okay, okay. Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him to do a podcast, but yeah. He's from the Cincy area, I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, yep. So, how long have you been tag team champs?
This is our third reign together, and
Okay.
we have been tag champs probably going on about 2 months, I would say.
2 months. Okay.
About 2 or 3.
Third reign, 2 months.
Yep.
Wow, pretty cool.
Yeah, not too bad. It's my fourth reign total at OVW. I had one reign with TW3 as a part of Tuscan Chains years ago, and now I'm teamed with Jack Vaughn. So you can't ask for much more than that. Jack is, uh,
He's a veteran. That's
yeah, yeah.
like
I mean,
he's been in the business
dollars
for a
to
very.
him, he's the best technical wrestler in OVW today.
Do you prefer working tag team or single?
I like both. I like to get a good mix of both, just
For
because
sure.
I like being as good at everything as I can be. Right now, I'm enjoying the tag team stuff, but I'm looking forward to potential singles stuff in the future.
Have you had the chance to hold any singles championships?
Not in OVW. No,
No,
I've
no VW.
only had one singles championship match in OVW in 6 years, which hopefully will change this year.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, outside of there, I've held the bullpen heavyweight championship and a couple of other tag team titles.
Do you have any individual goals for 2026?
Yes, I would really like to win a singles championship at
Mm-hmm.
OVW, uh, preferably more than one. The goal is always the heavyweight. I guess the U.S. is technically our top title there, but the heavyweight title is kind of where I want to be. So we'll see.
For sure. Um, can you share an example where you had to improvise during a match or storyline?
Um, let's see. Trying to think. I mean, during that 30-minute Ironman match with Dijak, it was, you know, 95% of it was improvising in the ring, just kind of feeling it out, knowing what the other guy does and what we're working towards as far as the end goal of the match. And, we had basically where, they have the clock on the wall and it's counting down from 30 minutes. And
Hmm.
we knew what times we wanted to have each finish. And other than that, we didn't know anything heading in. We just kind of improvised while we were out there. And fortunately for me, he is a fantastic professional. So he was very talkative, very controlling out there in the ring. And then he also was more than willing to accept any input that I have. And we worked great.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Have you suffered any injuries? I hate asking this, but it's part of the business.
Yes. Back, I believe it was 2021. It was Monday, right before the Nightmare Rumble. I was being told that I was going to be making my debut in that Nightmare Rumble. Uh, and we were practicing getting tossed over the top rope in Doug Basham's advanced class. And long story short, I go over, foot gets caught in the mat on the outside. I broke my tibia, I believe, uh,
Jeez.
and my ankle on both sides of the right leg, and also tore a ligament in my right foot. So
How long did that take you to recover?
I wasn't back in the ring for close to 6 months.
I was gonna say 6 months. Yeah. Dang.
Wow. Yeah.
Whew. Oh,
So that was
a lot of
that.
rehab for it too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. 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 Those leg injuries, man. They seemed always. Um.
yeah. I mean, you gotta use your
Yeah.
legs everywhere you go. So it's like
For sure.
as a bigger guy, I'm over 300 pounds, so I gotta have my legs working at full capacity, or else I'm not going anywhere very quick. So
For sure. The industry of pro wrestling, it's starting to become a pulp culture thing. It's starting to become really popular. Everywhere you go, you see pro wrestling anywhere. What are your thoughts on the state of the industry itself?
um, I mean, as a longtime fan, I kind of begrudge where it's going just because it's not what I grew up watching. But
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as someone who loves the sport and wants to see it grow as much as possible, it's definitely doing that. They're taking it all over the world, and it's like you said, it's on pop culture everywhere. Everybody knows who John Cena, The Rock, Roman Reigns, those guys are. It's becoming a really big thing as opposed to more of a cult following. So
for sure, for
yeah,
sure.
it's got its ups and downs. But,
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got its up, its down. Um, do you have an arch nemesis or like somebody just been a thorn in your side and just doesn't want to go away?
ooh. I mean, I hate to
Or
say it,
does everybody want a
a
piece
little
of Donovan Cecil?
bit. Jack Vaughn a little bit.
Yeah.
This our whole tag team started from kind of a two outlaws saying the town ain't big enough for the two of us kind of situation. And,
Okay. Okay.
we ended up being forced to team together, and then we had therapist Larkin with us, and we've somewhat worked out our differences. But ultimately, there's always going to be that competitive nature between the two of us because we both think that we're the best, or at least one of the best in the company. So,
Absolutely. As you should be.
oh yeah,
Um, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
start sooner. I would
Start
say,
sooner.
football was fun. It was great. I wouldn't necessarily like to trade it for the world just because I love the experience. But yeah, if I had started wrestling sooner, I think that I'd be that much further along in where I'm going, and hopefully going to get to anyway. But I would be there, 4, 5, 6 years sooner than what I'm going to be now. So,
Right. Right. Um, let's see. Do you have any advice for young folks who are trying to break into the business?
find a good school. Don't
Find a
go
good school.
to some little backyard promotion that says, "Hey, we train people." Find a good school. Go online, do some research. OVW is a great place. The
Hmm.
Dudleys have a good one in Pennsylvania. Booker T's school in Houston, anywhere like Rollins School in Iowa,
Yep.
anywhere that's got a great program and a great coach, somebody who knows what they're doing, has been where you want to go. That's what you want to go to and where you want to learn. Because if you're going to learn from somebody who the furthest they made it is, the tri-state area, you're only going to make it to the tri-state area more than likely. But if you want to make it to the top of the game, you have to learn from someone who's been there and done that.
Absolutely. I hear that. Do you have a favorite move that you like to do?
Ooh, uh, I really like my black hole slam. It is
Okay.
one of my favorites. That, the F5, and moonsault.
The F5 is pretty cool. I like the F5. Um, do you have a move that you won't do or you won't take?
Ooh, I won't do a shooting star press because I've tried it twice in my life.
Okay.
Nailed it the first time and landed on the top of my head the second time, and was like, I'm not doing that
Hmm.
anymore. And as far as a move I wouldn't take, it just depends on who's giving it.
Right.
If the guy's smaller than me, I'm not gonna take a choke slam or anything like that. But if he's a big professional and he wants to hit me with a power bomb, like if you can get me up there and give it to me safe, then yeah, I'll take it.
For sure. For sure. Um, let's see. Had you had any unusual experience in wrestling? It could be backstage catering, with a fan.
Uh, oh yeah. Uh, uh, I've had a couple people pull knives on me in the fans and stuff like
Jeez.
that out in.
The parking lot?
No, it's like during a show,
Oh,
security
wow.
and escort them out of the building, stuff like that. This is in backwoods towns in Indiana and places like that where, that's just kind of how people are.
Damn.
Uh, yeah. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's great though. You get people believing that it's real and, because it is, but, they really buy into it. And that lets you know, for one, that they're a little psychotic, but for two, that, they're really enjoying themselves. So it's kind of part of the business for me, I think. But as far as in the locker room, I mean, there's a lot of alpha male mentality and testosterone flying around, and people
Yeah.
button walls, and myself, I'm backstage head button walls and everything else, just to get fired up. So it's a pretty strange place. If you're not used to a football locker room mentality or somewhat similar to that, you're going to be pretty shocked if you walk into a locker room.
Right, right. Speaking on that, have you had do you do any like favorite pre-match rituals to get yourself fired up, like headbutting a wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So smelling salts.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that's another big one.
Yep, yep. I always have the smelling salts I use now are in like this metal can, so I will get a good whiff of those, close it up, and then headbutt that can, headbutt the wall. And I'm good.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I've never tried smelling salts. I've seen videos of where smelling salts, will wake you up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They wake you up.
That's crazy. I like it. Let's see. Let's see. Do you have any social medias you like to shout out?
I am at Donovan the Mammoth on Instagram, Donovan Cecil KSM on I guess it's X now, and Donovan Cecil on Facebook.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
do TikTok. Sorry, Jack Vaughn. I know he's a TikTok megastar, but I
Oh
won't do.
yeah, he does do a lot of TikToks.
Oh, yeah. Very successful on there. Can't begrudge him for it. Just not my thing.
For sure. Do you have any merchandise you like to shout out?
I mean, anywhere you see me wrestle, I will have merch with me. I don't have an online store or anything like that
Okay.
currently. But yeah, if you see me at a wrestling show, come up and talk to me. I'm friendlier than I look.
Right, right. I got that. And then I think what do you think about when guys or when people say, pro wrestling's fake or, it
Clearly, they have not done it. I don't
right,
know if you can tell. I got this black eye right now.
okay, yep,
Uh,
yep, yep.
that's from this fake thing that I do called wrestling. Uh, it's uh, it's not fake in the least. It's very frustrating because I know people, you know, you just talk off the top of your head and you say, "Oh, it's fake." Well, no, it's not. Like it has a script, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a determination or predetermination as to the outcome. But those things can change on the fly. Like, I've been in the ring several times where the referee has the earpiece in and they come over and they say finish is changed, or you got X amount more minutes, or whatever it might be. Nothing about it is fake.
For
It's
sure.
it's a intricate, violent dance.
For sure. And that's what I tell people, man. Like I defend y'all to like the very end because I love it. Um, I understand like it's predetermined, but the moves and stunts you do, um, like how people describe it, I like to describe it as you guys create something magic in there in the ring. To where mixed martial arts guys they create art, but you guys create something magic, and it's fell in love with it in like 2005 when I my first match I recall was the triple threat match with Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, and Randy Orton. Yep.
But yeah,
And I fell in love with that with the underdog mentality, and then yeah, my job as a content creator is get people back into pro wrestling. You know, um, it's just something I love, and it's entertainment, and yeah, it's not going away for a good while.
yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, that's about it, I think.
All right. I guess we'll wrap this up, and it's been a good episode. I appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit of pro wrestling.
All right, absolutely, anytime.
Absolutely. I'll have to hit you up in a couple months and see where we're at. But ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 18. Donovan Cecil, part of the strongman competitions. He will be in Las Vegas for Power Slap, part of the prelims. What time does that start?
It would be 4:30 their time, March 6th.
Okay, okay. So it'll probably be like around noonish on
I,
Eastern time.
yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe early there is late here.
Right, right.
Yeah, so probably 7:30 ish our
Okay,
time.
okay. But yeah, catch them on there, and this has been a great episode 18. I appreciate you guys, and peace out.